Hello. Once again, this is Dominic from MyRentCourt.com. Today we're going to cover registering a property in the system. Once you are logged in, click on the To Get Started, Add a Property, and Tenants Here tab. Once you're on this screen, this is where you're going to type in the information related to the property that you wish to file on. Landlord and company is where you may type your name, or if it's under a trade name, LLC, type it there. Then you're going to type in your tenant street number, tab down to the next box that says tenant street name, and then type in the street address. Remember, this is going on a legal document, which means that you must spell your street addresses correctly, and you must also include any suffix, such as road, street, avenue, court. These are very important, as your case will get dismissed if you do not include them or spell things incorrectly. Next, you're going to be typing in the tenant apartment number box. If you have a multifamily dwelling or an apartment building, you must type in unit, apartment number, or suite in this section. Next is the tenant city. Once again, I cannot stress and emphasize how important it is to get this information correct. In this case, it's going to be Baltimore, and then the tenant state usually defaults to Maryland. Your zip code is very important as well. If that is incorrect, your case will be dismissed. This next category is the jurisdiction where your property resides. Please make sure this is correct. If it's Baltimore City, choose Baltimore City, so on and so forth. Property type is where you choose whole house if it's a multi-unit or a commercial dwelling. The next category is landlord license / registration number. If you need to be licensed to rent a property in Maryland, you need to type it in here. Especially in Baltimore City, your case will be dismissed if this information is omitted. We also provide a link to the Baltimore Housing website to look up your city registration number. The next box is, was your property built before 1978? MDE requires that any house before 1978 has to have a lead certification on the property. However, if it is built after that date, you may click on the No box and it'll disappear and not require you to put that information in. But if it is, you must type in a valid lead cert number here. If you do not have that information, you may call our office. We actually do provide lead certification. Then you're going to click the next box. This next tab is where you're going to add your tenant's information, starting with the tenant's first and last name separated by 2 boxes. You are only required to include tenants who have signed a lease with you. Any other occupants that are in the dwelling do not need to be typed here if they haven't signed the lease. So first you're going to type your tenant's first name and last name. We also provide 3 more convenient boxes for any additional lessees who have signed your lease if necessary. We also provide a spot where you may type in your tenant's email and primary tenant phone number. The next box is all current lease tenants listed. This defaults to the correct value. Next is the tenant deceased? It's very important to answer this information correct as it will change the proceeding in rent court. The next box is your tenant in the military? If your tenant is active duty military, you must select yes and contact us after registering your property, as this changes the rules of rent court and how we proceed. Then click next. The next screen has your contract rent amount and due date. In this spot, you're going to type the amount of rent the tenant is responsible to pay per month per your lease or contract. If they are Section 8, you must type only the tenant's portion in this box. The due date. Generally, rent is due on the 1st and late on the 5th. However, if your lease has different provisions, you must provide them in this spot when they're due, not when they're late. This last box, generally you do not have to change the information. However, there are slightly different lead laws if your tenant did move in before this date. Then you're going to click next. The File Upload tab is where you can upload your leases, your ledgers, and any other supporting documents before you file your case. We provide 5 different boxes where you can upload any kind of information you think would be relevant for us to argue your case. As you can see, each box is separated, and you must choose them separately in order to upload your documents. Okay, so once you've uploaded all your documents and you are satisfied, you may click on the Submit button in the right-hand corner, and this will complete the property registration portion for MyRentCourt.com. Thanks for watching the property registration tutorial. And once again, thank you for choosing MyRentCourt.com.